Now, one of the top stories being covered on Weibo today are posts about the explosions that took place during the Boston Marathon, which some media outlets have already dubbed as a terror attack. The explosions have been deadly as there's been at least 3 deaths, including an 8-year-old boy. Now, various Weibo posts highlighted different aspects of the news story, including the quick response from the White House, what Google is currently doing to help with rescue efforts, and the Chinese real estate tycoon's on-location eyewitness report. But first, let's take a look at reactions from Chinese Weibo users about the explosions.
Oh my lord, the explosion was at the finish line? That was clearly an act of terror. People might have varying beliefs in government and religion, but no one should take it out on innocent civilians. Good thing it wasn't consecutive explosions, otherwise casualties would have been very high. America spends how many billions on national security, and they still let this happen? Do you think America will blame it on North Korea and go to war?
A video of President Obama commenting on the explosion is already available on many Chinese video sites. The speech has already been translated and subtitles are also provided, which has led many Chinese internet users to applaud the speed in which the American government reacted to the event, as well as the speed in which the information was made available and translated on the internet. And once again, there were some Weibo users who compare the American government's openness and transparency with the Chinese government's track record of cover-ups. Now, a few Weibo posts specifically pointed out that the event was being covered live on television and that there were no orders to the American media on restricting reports. Okay, now let's take a look at what Chinese internet users have to say about Obama's address and the response of the American government to the explosion.
Look at how quick the American president responded to the attack. You really get a sense that the American government cherishes the lives of its citizens. Although we don't know who or what set off the explosives, it's still heartwarming to see the government so quick to respond, to comfort those who were affected by the explosion. A government that takes care of its people deserves the people's trust and loyalty. China would not be able to deal with a similar event as swiftly and efficiently as the Americans. But then again, such serious terrorist attacks have not happened in China. Don't joke with me. The investigation of a safety accident would not be made public. The Americans seem to be focused on saving lives and dealing with those that are injured. I think our government would have taken this as an opportunity to make a show and spread some propaganda about how well the government is taking care of the people.
Something else that caught the attention of Chinese Weibo users is the fact that people are going online to offer help to those who are affected by the Boston Marathon explosions. Now, according to the original Weibo post, American internet users are using various internet services such as Google Person Finder to offer their homes as temporary shelters for those who might have been affected by the explosions. Now, Chinese reaction is that of admiration and respect. Many Chinese Weibo users commented that their acts of charity of offering up their own homes to help accommodate those in need is something that Chinese people can learn from. And now let's take a look at what else people have to say.
It's great that everybody is helping out. We should definitely learn from other people's strength. If this were to happen in China, I think Chinese people would help out our brothers and sisters as well. Offering up one's own home to help those in need. Americans have a very high level of self-realization. This shows the true value of the internet.
Google is also quick to react to the tragedy by offering their Person Finder services to those who might be looking for someone who took part in the marathon or those who have information on people who took part in the marathon. Now, many Weibo users applauded the service and gave praise to Google for its fast response. Many commenters also mentioned that the American response to the explosions showed just how the state and the private sector can complement each other in emergencies to provide citizens with quick responses and open, transparent information. Okay, now let's take a look at some of their Weibo comments.
Rumors kill trust and transparency. Winning back trust requires time, but establishing transparency is immediate. This event shows us that transparency can help people keep calm and decrease the number of losses. Using advanced technology is key in dealing with these sudden attacks. Google is awesome. Chinese enterprises should definitely learn something from what Google is doing.
A well-known Chinese real estate tycoon that was recently featured on an episode of 60 Minutes was in Boston during the explosions. Now, he was, in his own words, about 150 meters from the explosion and was able to provide Chinese news outlets with a first-person eyewitness account. Now, some Weibo users also commented that perhaps the explosions had something to do with North Korea, or that the explosions could just be the start of a number of terrorist attacks aimed at the U.S., something that American authorities have mentioned could be a distinct possibility. All right, now we'll keep you up to date with the latest Chinese response to the Boston Marathon explosion as the news story unfolds.